Oi, India just introduced a new tax. It's called GST, Goods and Services Tax. It's basically like VAT, just worse. It nukes everything. Anyway, it came in last weekend on a Saturday night. These idiot villagers in rural Rajasthan decided to name their newborn baby boy GST. That's his name, GST. Nice going, parents, naming the boy after something that's universally reviled. I think the child's only hope is to grow up to become a tax inspector. Like, how do you do? My name is GST. How's it going with your business? Avoiding zoo fees in China. Seems like that's a thing. You know, why go through the front entrance when you can hop over the back fence? Trouble is, in January this year in a Ningbo zoo, someone hopped the back fence only to land inside of the tiger enclosure, where he was promptly mauled and partially eaten, dead. This week it happened again in a place called Changsha. Somebody's trying to avoid a park fee of 42 Chinese yuan, that's about 80 rand, scaled the back fence, also narrowly avoiding instant death from being eaten by Bengali tigers. Fortunately for these guys, though, they were spotted on the closed circuit TV by the zoo security, and they were safely collected and escorted to the nearest police station. Look, I'm trying to avoid political stories here on the Blunders, but I'm afraid this one had to be forced into today's episode. National Health Insurance Scheme. That nightmare is back. Health Minister Aaron Motsoaledi here in South Africa putting it back on the table with a policy white paper. Let me explain to you how this works in case you don't know the details. In this country, a significant part of the national budget gets chowed in the state hospitals with very mixed outcomes. Meanwhile, a whole lot of people who are lucky enough to be employed in the private sector save their own money in private medical aids, which then gets spent at private medical hospitals. The government has somehow got a problem with this. It wants to take away even more of that money, appropriate even more of those savings, and smash them into the disastrously ineffective state health system, with uncertain outcomes for patients, worse outcomes for hospitals, and very negative outcomes for doctors. You know, is it too much to expect the state to get its own house in order before it starts messing with the private options in these countries? The New York Times, what a venerable leftist publication. Hate Trump, of course. Ready to throw their editorial page support behind all sorts of progressive causes like global warming, imagine all of them. But when it comes to their own business projects, it seems maybe there's a little bit of a blind eye being turned. Consider this offer. New York Times is sponsoring a trip where a customized Boeing 757, which normally carries like 260 people, will be converted into a 26-day jamboree plane with 4 New York Times journalists as your tour guides, flatbeds for 26 people, flying the 4 corners of the earth, visiting interesting sites, all of which no doubt will be astronomically expensive and have a carbon footprint the size of Bigfoot.